Smugglers.
One, go.
Aliens and Earthlings. I'm Kutzky, the Space Pimp.
And I am Tony Tallboy. Welcome back to another episode of Smugglers Cove. All three of us are here again.
Hello, Blue Ball.
Hello, Blue Ball. Mighty and true.
Didn't think I'd be seeing you so soon.
No, but he's here to help us when we're having technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm. Our interface worked, well, I can't even say wonderfully because it put up a fight, and by putting up a fight, I mean I didn't know the volume knob had to be turned up, or didn't check to see if it was. Once that got solved, that troubleshooting, it worked, and then we went to go plug it in tonight, and it was just crackling. So we tried troubleshooting that
for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Read a bunch of depressing stuff on Reddit of how the machine basically works and then just devolves.
Then we angry ate some chips, and here we are. I think we really do need our first things first.
First things first.
First things first. You know, I don't know. Should I start with a cigarette?
No. You start with what do you like.
I'm going to start with... I haven't had a pipe in
there we go.
A week.
Now that that's going, the second segment, it's not called Second Thing Second. We tried that. Liverpool Lounge is a working title. I'll be pulling the intro, background animal intro. You know already our intro songs have animals playing alongside, or yelping and screeching alongside Tony's voice and my musical abilities. Each week we've been pulling one and reading what Dr. Liverpool has to say about the animal.
His wise words.
As tarot goes, it usually lines up in some shape or form, and if it doesn't immediately, obviously, then it tends to play out in the next coming days. So, if any of you fuck around with tarot, you already know damn well what I'm saying.
In true tarot fashion, it comes to be.
It's just a looking glass into, well, can't use him again. Or do we?
Tarot.
He came.
He jumped out at us. Like the other day I was doing my tarot at work. Like I said in last week's episode. And the first, like, I woke up and I was having one of them bad days. Like, the black thoughts were just like, hey man, you want to wake up and feel really, really bad? And so I was shuffling it. And it was like Mexican jumping bean just coming out of it. And it was just like the Three of Swords. And in my tarot deck, it's just a dude, like, hanging his head in his hands as it's raining. And he's just, like, sobbing into his hands. I was like, and the tarot was real. And the tarot was real. So, I think maybe Meerkat's responding to that a little bit. Do we want to... And that means I only have to draw it once. So that's dope, since I haven't drawn it already. I finally got to the walrus here, if you wonderful viewers want to direct your eye.
Dear viewer. I think we mentioned if we... Well, I'll reiterate. We've been trying to do drawings for each of the animals that we pull. We're both artists, to put it loosely.
Yeah.
Tony's a good drawer. I draw and I paint and, well, I suppose a number of other things, but we both do practice some of the visual art forms. And, that was a good way to put it to use and show off our skills, or at least sharpen our skills.
And eventually make good stickers out of it.
Shout out to pandaprint.ca. They're out of West Hands or East Hands. I don't know. Either of the hands. It's in Nova Scotia. Guy sent us some sample stickers. I've given most of mine away. Well, actually, dear viewer, this interface will be good for something this episode. You can see... I'm just going to walk up and show you
just do that. That's the best way.
Have a nice look-see at that. So he did a good job. I suppose I did a good job. Then he did a good job making a sticker out of it. Just sent him the image. Got myself a nice scanner off Marketplace. Thank you.
It doesn't do big art?
Doesn't do big art. Tony and I bickered about the size of his art, or I bickered to him about it, saying that I'm not buying a fucking big-ass scanner so he can draw big. And you had to be there, I guess. It was funny.
Yeah.
Scanners, well, the scanner I got is just your typical paper, size paper, printer paper. So that's what I draw on, and the scanner was just wicked good to take the image and just put it digitally. Taking a photo of shit it can be done, but it takes out all the hassle. I just click a couple clicks and there it is, digitized. And then I send it to Panda Print in East or West hands. And he sends us stickers, so thank you. Mm-hmm. We'll be contacting you soon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he tunes in quite often. Maybe he does. I told him to score a podcast. Yeah, could be.
Seems like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. Pipe smells damn good.
Thanks, buddy. It's nice to have it after a week.
So, I'll read Meerkat again.
Read Meerkat again, obviously we need to hear it.
Get support from a trusted group of like-minded friends. That's what we got precursing our mic winnings. Yeah, Meerkat was the card that came up, and then we went to the Long McQuaid seminar for podcasting and recording 101.
I think also it's just the podcast telling me to draw fucking meerkats. Like, I'll get to it.
Come on.
Yeah.
The people in your life would love to offer their support to you. Your only job is to receive it and, indeed, sometimes even ask for it. Those whom you feel closest to and trust the most are the individuals you can rely on to be there for you, especially when you really need it. People who are dealing with dire illnesses and have the support of friends and family members usually fare the best. However, you certainly don't need to experience such an extreme situation to take advantage of the love and care that others have to offer. Write down a list of names of people you trust the most. This is where we get the trust exercise from.
Yeah. Do we have to do that one again, do you think?
I did a pretty good job at the first
I know
time.
you did, yeah. I'm sure I'm pretty happy with my trust exercise.
There we go. We did do this trust exercise as mentioned, and
it
was good. It's insightful. We just basically wrote out a couple names of people that we trust, and then...
Like it just described in the book?
Well, I don't know if it explained exactly to a T how I went about it. Like, you kind of write down the names, and then... Well, I guess it does say this in the book. Fuck you. And go back through it. Okay, write down a list of the names of people you trust the most, and then go back through it and identify 3 traits in each of those individuals that make you trust them. When you're finished, you'll not only have a good idea of the qualities in those you rely on, but also a clear notion of the characteristics that make a person trustworthy in your eyes. So, yeah, that is exactly what I did. I'm trying to remember, my main quality was that they don't... The thing that made me trust the people that I trust the most is that they don't burden me. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what yours was? Did you even find a unifying thread?
Well, remember when I said, like, there are things that... I think my unifying thread was that I didn't leave out, like, I left out because it was the unifying thread, was that these people have seen my worst sides. Mm-hmm. And still love and support me. Right, because I just left out I remember telling you, all these people have seen my worst side, or sides, so
it'd kind of be like they don't make you ashamed. Could be a way to.
I think that kind of ways. I mean, definitely, like I want to be careful about exposing them to that, but the fact that people see the darker parts of me and then don't immediately run the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't make me feel like a
or
monster.
Make fun of me,
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's true. Good. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you don't burden me, I'll trust you. If you don't make Tony feel ashamed or run away from him. If you don't... that sounds a little too...
Yeah.
If you don't run away from me...
If you don't run away from me, we good.
I'll trust you.
Sit here and let me burden you. Oh, but I guess I don't burden you with it, so that's good to know.
I don't feel too burdened.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
There's some heavy days.
Yeah, a lot of it I usually have answers to, or I just am like, well, you'll figure it out. Yeah. Maybe. Don't know. Not my fucking problem. Just kidding. That's not exactly completely that far away from the truth, but it's a little more caring than that.
I'd say so.
Alright, so basically write out a list of some people that you trust, then write out the reasons you trust them, and then kind of think about, try and find a unifying thread amongst the people that you trust and the reasons that you trust them for. It's interesting. I did feel good after I did the exercise and did feel like maybe it was something I knew, but I didn't take time to stop and really consider it. And then now that, or at least when I did take time to stop and consider it, I was pretty appreciative of those that I do trust and kind of understood myself a bit better. The whole not being burdened by friends, it also would indicate that there are friends or people in my life that do burden me with themselves, and that well, it just kind of sucks, because if we all are responsible for ourselves, then we're not only better to ourselves, but we're better inevitably to those around us. So
yeah,
take care of yourself, and not only will you love yourself more, those around you will love you more too. So that's a win-win, if I ever heard. So that's the exercise. The last part of this says, sure, you've been burned or disappointed at one time or another when you've trusted someone and were let down or betrayed. Everyone has experienced this. Welcome to Earth. I guess. Yeah, sweet. So now you may be afraid that if you let others in and count on them for support, something similar will happen. Those memories, consciously or subconsciously, will not only filter out any chance of being disappointed or hurt, but will also serve to keep others who are trustworthy at a distance. So basically don't self-sabotage yourself by thinking that people are just going to be the same as they've always been. Be hopeful, but don't be dumb. But
be willing to trust again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To love again. To trust again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't become
Roger Chillingsworth?
Bitter old man. Yeah, or Roger
Chillingsworth from The Scarlet Letter.
He had bad bones, is what I understand.
Well, he became more grotesque over time because he was poisoned by his own thoughts and his mania. It's a good book. It's a classic book. I need to go back and read it sometime, but, I have a lot of books to read on my shelf.
You learned it from the book. I think I saw the movie.
There's a movie?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there, yeah. I wouldn't mind watching the movie if I knew about it.
I think it was good, because when you started describing what happened to him, I sort of remembered this, decrepit old man. And then, I could be pulling scenes from fucking Outlander in my head and just saying that that's the Scarlet Letter, so I don't... I don't know specifically, but I do think that I watched the movie. I'll have to look up if there even was a movie now. So, this last blurb to it all, look under that filter and listen to what your gut instinct tells you about a particular individual. How do they match up with the list of characteristics you find trustworthy? Take a chance and let yourself receive love and support. So, I guess once you do the exercise, then you have a better metric to determine whether you should trust people or not.
Yeah.
I feel like I just typically... I used to think that trust was just this stupid thing that people... Because this is how I would word it. If you know somebody, you don't need to trust them. You just know them. They're going to be this way. Even if they're a way that's, shitty, it's you can rely on them to be that shitty way. And so you don't really need to trust people. If a weird crackhead comes up and asks you to babysit your kids, it's not that you don't trust him to babysit your kids. Obviously, you don't trust him to babysit your kids.
But you just know that he's a crackhead, so
you know that he's a fucking crackhead. That's probably not going to be any good for your kids to be around. So it's not really like, thank God I understand what to trust in people.
Well,
it's
you
like,
don't know. He could take your baby and try and use it as collateral when he goes to get drugs.
Well, exactly. You know that like a crackhead's mind is no place for a fucking.
It's certainly a playground, but not for children.
Yeah, but to that degree, you don't really need trust.
Yeah,
I feel like trust is like level 1 of understanding people, and like almost not even level 1, like level 0. If you don't understand people, then you have to like go on this sort of trust experience and exercise, and then the more you know about people, i.e. the more you know about yourself, because I do feel that's the only way to know more about people.
I think, I get what you're saying, because I think I do. Because when I was much more of a lost person, I was much more willing to trust people. Because I didn't have the same kind of stability in myself. Although it's weird to think of me having any stability. But the stability in myself now, like, I pretty much know when I can trust people and when I can't, you know? And when I do lean on people that are not so trustworthy, it's because I don't have that strength in myself to not, even if I understand that it might not be the best person to put that reliance in, even if it's not like, you know, trust, but like typically that just comes from when I'm in a weak place.
Yeah, because trust involves a lot of dependency. And if you have to depend on anything other than yourself, generally, I can say it's because you can't do it for yourself. I guess that sounds literally obvious, but if you have to depend on others, it's because you're not dependable to you as you. Like, you as yourself are unreliable. So you count on somebody else to kind of even your waters, and that's never going to go well, because that's just going to burden the other person. Even if they do a good job at like keeping you sane, eventually that's going to wear on them, because you're putting the weight of your own responsibilities onto somebody else, and that's not cool to do.
No, I've never done that at all.
Well, I don't know if you're implying that you've done that with me or something, but
No, I've done that. Anyway.
Yeah, to people.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug, kids.
That's true. Yeah, so fucking learn how to depend on yourself, and obviously there will be times where you have to put your faith in some other people's hands, but...
Well, and Meerkat, too, is about, like, there is times that it's healthy to have, you know, it's okay to depend on other people at points.
But usually it's, like, it's very short-lived, you know, and, like, rightfully so, because...
Yeah, like, times of need kind of idea.
And say if we're trying to learn how this interface, like, to make it not a piece of shit, we find a guy who knows about them. We kind of put our trust in his hands to tell us the right things, and so that's just temporary, right? It's not like we need him to hold our hands for 48 hours. He just tells us some stuff, and it's like the window of where we're trusting him only really exists for about not even a half hour.
Well, I mean, we're going to be trusting him for, like, probably 2 hours.
I suppose the teacher-student relationship, yeah, you do trust.
Probably get to see our pal Randy again.
We will get to see our pal Randy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking of that, because that's like the whole sort of epiphany that you come to after you've gone through high school, is like, you trusted all these teachers to steer you right from wrong. And then you realize, well, they're just 27-year-old kids or something. You know, when you get to be their age.
Not for me. I mean, I was in the
you could have some sort of general understanding of, like, when you become an adult, you realize that the adults that you looked up to as kids were just big kids, you know? Like, they weren't sophisticated savants that knew everything. They did know more than you, maybe, but it wasn't like... I know, for me at least, that was a kind of an epiphany moment where it's like, no, like, I don't need to be mad at this adult for leading me astray. They, too, were just a kid, and, like, they looked older, but they're still just a kid trying to figure out the world and how to live in it. So they gave me some bad advice, but really their bad advice was just the best advice that they had found thus far. So, you know, shitting on them for giving me shitty advice isn't really fair, because to them it was the best that they could. Unless you meet some weird fucking maniacal bastard that was just constantly trying to feed you garbage info, and, you know, that's not really that common. So
getting a lot of mixed emotions thinking back on my teachers now. Although, Miss Barry, thank you so much for kindergarten. You were awesome.
Yeah,
she was a really great kindergarten teacher. Tall as a beanpole. Like, absolute giant of a woman. Like, even meeting her when I was an adult, I was like, okay, so you're still really tall. Like, but
memory serves correct.
What a good woman.
Good.
Yeah.
Was she in the academy, or is she?
No, because I went to Hillcrest up until grade 2.
Okay.
And I went to the academy in grade 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's when Christian school began.
Good old academy.
Yeah.
You should just be vague and say, like, I went to academy. Like, it's like some sort of superhero thing.
I typically try not to say the whole name, just because people are like, oh, where'd you go to school? I went to MCA. Well, what's that? I don't want to talk about it.
I would just say I went to an academy. And if they look at me for more info and be like, we're not allowed to speak of it.
Well, I say private school, and then they're like, oh, you went to private school, and they think it's really prestigious, and it's just like...
Yeah. You get to play with that. I just tell them I went to Tremble. They're like, oh, so you ate fast food for lunch a lot. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I did. This was my right. I want. My need. As a flesh-breathing human. Associations for the meerkat: family, community, group support, vigilance, observation, intelligence, energy, conversation, communication, resilience, protectiveness, grooming, playfulness. So, that's meerkat.
Yep. Thank you very much, Mr. Liverpool.
Yeah. It's been a treat. You will have heard meerkat again.
Yep.
In the intro to this episode. So,
which is kind of cool, because I feel like the walrus really overpowered the meerkat.
That's, yeah.
But truth be told, I don't know how many things can overpower a walrus. They are
not many.
They are not a silent giant.
Well, now that segment is done, I think y'all have a hunch of the next one coming up.
Yeah.
We are reading again today from Logan Q Quickly's 257 Juicy Questions to Ask Your Friends.
I wish he chose a different word.
Juicy than juicy.
It sounds like we're high school is about to play Spin the Bottle or Truth or Dare. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, or like some chick is about to tell you something she read in, like, National Enquirer.
Yeah.
Did you know Obama's actually part mammoth? Thank God you're here, Susie. Thank God you're here. So, this episode's topics for the questions is questions to ask your friends about yourself. So, Tony, you want to read this blurb for us?
See how well your friends know you with fun questions about yourself and their perception of you. Dun dun dun!
Well, I will start us off.
Please do.
Number 82. How would you describe me in 3 words?
3 words. Again, I find it hard to encompass like the entirety, but I was thinking artist, genuine, and generous.
Thank you.
Well, artist, obvious, genuine, because you really, while you're very patient at points, unless it's with the interface, like genuine, like you're very.
The interface is not cracked in half right now, so that is a testament to my fucking patience.
But genuine because you're very yourself. You're always yourself, and it's not. It's very genuine self. It's not like when you see people that dye their hair or shave half their hair and they are unique.
Yeah.
Because they want to be unique. Like you're not unique for unique sake. You are you for your sake. And generous, I mean. Turtle things,
Yeah.
Like
I do like to give gifts.
Yeah, no, gifts are definitely one of your love languages. I don't have my frog keychain, but
that was a cool thing.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. Yeah, those are my three descriptors.
Oh, thank you. For you, I had. So I guess disclaimer, there is one question out of this that I had read beforehand, and it was this one. It made me think quite a bit.
We both did.
We both, kind of had some time to think about this one. We even contemplated actually writing out our answers to all the questions and then doing the episode like that. We may try that in a future episode just to see how it works.
Honestly, I feel like number 82, just glancing at them, was the only one
that required
actual thought, so us reading that first.
All right.
And then, but
fair.
It'll come another day.
That kind of makes sense, eh? The universe peeled their eyes to it, and here we are. So, in thinking about this, I came up with tender, dark, and then the word I was going to use was open, but open, I wanted it to imply like you're open to try new things. You're not like, oh no, I don't want to do that. You're just not closed off. And I feel like that saying open, my only problem with is it sounds too simple.
Yeah.
But tender, because you're a way that I don't see many men balance, where you can be kind of soft but not pathetic.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people,
I definitely have had my time being pathetic, but it's been a trial and error.
Surely it's a growing curve, but I do see people being sensitive, and then it's like, all right, man, like fucking, we can't be like just there's a fucking balance to it, and to me, you have that balance mastered pretty good.
There's a reason why I get so many hugs.
Because you're. Yeah.
That's why I give so many hugs.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a hugger.
Hug? Tender. And dark. That's
definitely, no.
I do appreciate that part about you, though, too, because some people just kind of shy away from that darkness. I think we all have some degree of it. And I think, especially as an artist, if I'm going to use that, having some darkness gives you more depth. So
I've definitely learned over the years, obviously, like, my troubles do come a lot from dwelling in darkness, but that's one of the things that I found really quite aggravating when I went to the private school, is that there was this unwillingness to acknowledge dark, to just kind of be like, oh no, that's terrible, and then kind of shy away from it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, being the contrarian that I am, just be like, no, and then just like run full steam at a wall. Like, we had to choose our favorite Bible quotes for our graduation, and I was gonna be like, there's a Bible quote about women like bashing their like, it's a famine, so the women are smashing their babies' heads against rocks to kill them and put them in a pot to boil them and make soup.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so I was gonna be like, I'm gonna choose this one, and this girl was like, you can't choose that, and I was like, why? It's my favorite Bible verse. And she's like, you're just doing it, and like, well, it's a Bible verse, I can choose it. I didn't, by the way. I chose a different one from the Psalms, which is, I can't quote it, but the one that I remember from Psalms is, there is a time to love and a time to hate.
Yeah.
So it's not all just happy all the sun, all the time sunshine, you know?
Yeah. Because you easily fucking get delusional if you're just trying to always be positive. I know when I was studying, I still kind of study a lot of spiritual stuff, but especially when I was first getting into it, there was this notion of just PMA, positive mental attitude, like always be positive is how I took it. And I really tried to apply that and just be like happy about everything, even when it was going fucking not the way I wanted. And it made me lose, maybe not lose, but more so cage a part of myself. And then I flipped to, I have this personal theory called hate fuel. And so what that, kind of obviously encapsulates is there are things that by hating them, it actually energizes me. So for example, there's this video that's over and under. It's this, I think I showed you it with St. Vincent. St. Vincent is an artist I just hate. Yeah. I hate her personality. I really don't fucking like her. And when I watched it, it fucking energized me because I'm just mad. I'm just like, you suck so fucking much. And, I think that there's this deeper balance where it's like, though you may hate it, like, also understand that they are just like you. They are too a human or a human-looking thing on Earth trying to figure Earth out. So there's always a level of grace that I give everybody no matter what. But it's like I couldn't feel right just being like, here, everybody have all the grace. It's like, no, Vincent, I get it, it's hard, but fuck you. And it just has made me feel a lot more comfortable with myself, because if it is that I don't like something, well, I don't have to lie to myself about not liking it.
Yeah.
And then I can also learn from what it is I don't like about it. And
accepting that some things are shit and you just don't want to be there is not a bad thing either. Like, because I found too, when I was just so starved for validation and friendship, that I would put myself or be around people that really, looking back, the only lesson that I got was don't be like them. So other than that, it's like, but I would be in those situations where it's like, oh no, people like me, so I have to be here. Yeah. Instead of being like, no, this is shit, go home. Like, take a shower. Like, play your fucking Xbox. You don't need to be drinking at 4 a.m.
That love is not the love that's gonna...
I hate too is you see quite often is people are like, good vibes only. Which, when a manager uses that, it means you're good vibes only. Yeah. I can have whatever fucking vibe I want.
Don't call me on my bullshit. Good vibes only.
Yeah, basically. Like, okay, so we can't have complaints, Like, okay, well, cool.
No, good vibes only.
Yeah, good vibes only, unless you're doing something I don't like. In this case.
Suggestion box has, like, in parentheses under it, good vibes only. That's basically it.
Yeah, I don't like that toxic positivity of you can only think good things, because you need to be able to think a range of things.
Yeah, well, I do love that term, toxic positivity. I hadn't come across it until maybe a year or two ago, and when I saw it, I was like, like they're getting it. I felt safer in the world, because I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one noticing that this is, this is also just as unbalanced as the other, like, toxic negativity.
Yes. Well, and I think, you kind of had to go through that period of trying out the counterbalance to being really negative, right? Kind of, I think, how we saw cancel culture spring up for a bit, and now it's kind of leveling out, because people are like, okay, we're really tired of a controversy every second day about something someone said 5 years ago. Yeah. Or, something... And it doesn't need to... I think it's healthy to go through those stages, but holy fuck, like, sometimes you're just like, okay, like, this might have needed to happen. It can end now. Like, we can kind of dial it back.
We learned.
Yeah. Let the pendulum kind of get its momentum to go back and forth, not, like... We don't need it sticking to either side now.
Yeah.
Just let it hang in the middle.
We do sometimes need to go know the other side to know where the middle is, but yeah, because I think that I didn't really understand that in going through the attempt to be just super positive, that I would learn that the balance was more in the middle. And that sounds kind of stupid maybe, but maybe that's just the approach to most people who venture into something and take on its characteristics. Eventually there's a learning curve where it's like, I don't need to be trying so hard to fully be something that doesn't taste right. I guess it led me to understand what tastes right and doesn't. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Number 83?
Sure.
Okay.
What was the first thing you thought of me when we met?
That you were smart. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure I was drinking at the time, but...
Well, that goes to show how smart you are. You can still carry on an intelligent conversation when you're fucking drunker than... most average men could handle.
That's...
Yeah, you were coherent with your thoughts, and you were... I think I can even bring up the open thing again. Like, I've got a lot of ideas or theories that I wouldn't just bring up to anybody, because it'd be, kind of this weird... It probably would just evolve into some weird scenario where it's like, you think that? Or like, I don't even know what the fuck it would, but I just don't. And so I was able to share some ideas with you that they were almost like kind of testing. Like, I was like, all right, I'll throw this out here, and then he'll respond either the typical way of like, that's fucking, some sort of dismissive way, or it'll be like, receptive, basically, and kind of ponder it with me rather than shutting it down for some of its, maybe perhaps immediately obvious potholes or loopholes, to just see past that and actually explore the idea rather than dismiss it based on certain principles. So to me, that is a part of being smart. It's not really just regurgitating info. It's being able to really, hypothesize and explore and, dive deeper into something and see merit that isn't just on the surface or commonly known. So I thought you were smart and tall. What about you? What was the first thing you thought of me when we met?
So, because a lot of the beginning stages of a relationship were kind of tied into, my inebriation, I'm going to do kind of a collage. First thing, I think I noticed maybe even before the fact that you wore all purple was your Confederate hat. And I was like, dude's fucking ballsy going around wearing a Confederate hat. Like, I was just like, alright, immediate respect here, let's figure this guy out. And then...
I just like that.
Obviously, I thought you were really chill, and then we always had really good conversations when we got into deeper topics. So it was kind of like, I would annoy his wife, being like, is Caleb coming? Like, that hot man, is he fucking showing up soon? And then this is really neither here nor there. Yeah. I just remember one night where I was just like gone. And I kept repeating to you how strong an Uzi is. And I was like, they're like fucking 12 me. And I think I was complaining about how first-person shooters have them be like a little bit of rattle-tattle. And then I just kept going on about the Uzis. But no, I always, my first impressions of you were that you're super chill. And I think intelligent too, because otherwise I wouldn't have enjoyed talking to you so much. Because it's a really fun thing for me when I can get talking to someone and be like, oh, cool, we can go deeper than just stories and shitty jokes. Not that I don't enjoy those things, but it's really quite refreshing when I can have a good conversation.
Yeah, because you kind of like just sort of stumble upon that with people. If you I don't know that smart people really think they're smart all that often. It's just
I think it becomes
how their mind works.
I think it becomes dangerous when intelligent people let that become an aspect of like their confidence.
Yeah.
When that becomes like when people who know a lot start going around acting like they know a lot, then it gets kind of janky.
Because if you really knew a lot, you'd know not to be that fucking way.
Well, if you knew a lot, then you would think that would give you enough confidence to be secure in yourself, right? When someone who is... Perfect example is a dude that I don't like. I won't say his name on the podcast because I won't give him that much credence, but he is an intelligent man.
Yeah.
He does know quite a bit of information, but one time I was working at a job in one kitchen, and the quote that came out of his mouth was, "I don't need to learn anything new. I've already got so much shit in my brain." And like, that is the dumbest thing to ever fall out of someone's head or mouth I've ever fucking heard. Like, you moron. Like, what the fuck are you saying? You don't need to learn anything new? Like, you fucking
doesn't sound very
troglodyte.
fun.
Like,
yeah.
But no, he did know a lot, but he was all wrapped up in his own insecurities and daddy issues.
Yeah.
That he needs to try to make everyone in the room understand that he's smart, he's a tough guy, he can get laid, and like, good.
Yeah.
Like,
just like, that's not really the fucking measure of intelligence.
Wow. He's one of those dudes that'll call you a pussy, and then when you're like, man, fuck off, he's like, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just joking. He's one of those dudes.
Well.
Yeah.
There's...
You know who you are.
Takes
fuck
all
you.
Times.
There's a reason why you're not in our friend group anymore, you piece of shit.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Cold blood, my man.
Oh, cold blood, buddy. Boiling. Well, no, that's for a while. It was, but I don't. He's not worth my time. He's not worth my energy.
Yeah, that's mixed up man. Alright, number 84. What's the most annoying trait I have?
So you know how I wouldn't tell you? Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
You know how I wouldn't tell you about the shortened form of Vladimir?
Yeah.
Bam. Like, when I was like, this cool fact about Russian nicknames. Oh, it's pussy? Alright.
Is it? But I was trying to remember it. Like, that thought just popped into my head randomly. I wasn't trying to recreate the scenario that we had.
No, but I mean the initial scenario.
Because you were talking about this guy who was making a video about Vladimir, and he was using some like shorthand name for him that wasn't
because people think that Vlad is short for Vladimir. It is not. Vlad is short for Vladislav.
What's short for Vladimir then? I'm not going to go into the whole fucking thing.
Thank you. Vova.
Okay, now I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Vova is the short form for Vladimir.
So, because I was making fun of kids, like, not being able to handle that seriously?
No, because it was just like I was trying to share this cool information, like this neat little tidbit about, Russian stuff, and it was just like immediately to, like, okay, cool, we're going to fucking grade school humor. Neat. Neat.
So my annoying trait is the capabilities to be the opposite of my entirety.
Well, I mean, just for me too, I just struggle with just really simple, vulgar humor. Mm-hmm. When it's like when you're trying to have an interesting discussion, and then someone, it's not just you, by the way, but like when other people just like break in with like a shitty joke that's like, all right, cool, the wind's out of my sails. I'm just going to weigh anchor and sleep here in these doldrums. Like,
I didn't think that was the only thing I was doing to you in that conversation. It was just kind of like an obvious window where I was like, all right.
No, it's kind of the same thing as like if you're talking and you mention nuts and someone's like, nuts, like, we're adults, we can get over the fact that we said nuts. Like, like it's just... I find we're all better people when we don't make those jokes. Like, there are times, but anyway, I'm kind of scared to ask. What's the most annoying thing about? What's the most annoying trait I have?
Like when you get too preoccupied on things.
Yeah, I figured.
that would be... It's like... I don't know. It's not the worst thing. Like, that's actually a good one. You know, it's like my negative skill is actually that I just care so much.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of falls into that category.
But I get really, like, that's a really good way to put it, is that I do get really preoccupied. Mm-hmm. I had a feeling that was,
yeah.
You know.
And I feel like it doesn't... To be annoyed, because this goes back to the same thing about, like, being offended. Like, if you're annoyed, it's, like, your own fucking problem. If you're offended by something, it's your own fucking problem. It's not that person's. So, I mean, when you were preoccupied about whatever it was that you were, you know, lamenting about, it was just like, well, here's the answer. The answer's still the answer.
Yeah.
The answer's still the fucking answer.
I think if you're talking about when we were driving back from breakfast last week.
I was thinking more when we went to Fundy. Maybe. Yeah. Talking about a heartache, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, okay. Fair enough.
That one's kind of fair, you know, it's not like... It just... I could understand it as like, yeah, like, I've been there too, and I do want to kind of share, and then I also don't want to listen. Yeah. Like, it's rude, but it's not rude.
It's one of those things that you want to... Like, it's kind of like, because you're really hearing all this, like, bitter, gross heart juice come out of someone, right?
Well,
but...
Yeah, I might not have used those adjectives.
Alright, listen, flesh-breathing human.
Just saying, it's like, you know, that scenario kind of called for the behavior that was being behaved in. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, yeah, do I find this annoying? It's like, well, yeah, because if I could just be tech-decking right now and not listening to this, that'd be fine too. But also, I want to be here for my friend and just, you know, it's not actually wiser of me to be like, this is so fucking annoying, I'm just going to go tech-deck. Like,
like, out in the dark at Funny in the fucking winter.
Just fucking complain about your stores in the car. I'm going to fucking tech-deck on the hood. Shut up, I'm trying to film the clip.
Stop shaking. I'm filming the clip. I get super preoccupied too when, like, you've noticed, like, when I get tired, that's when I fucking spiral. So
yeah,
that's something that I'm working on, but if you need to tell me, like, Tony, you're tired, shut up.
Like, well, and you know that it will do that too, so it's not really like I can be all that annoyed by it. It's just like...
Well, and that's the annoying thing for me too, is that, like, I'll be tired, and then I'll say something, and it's just like, you know, like, just emotional phlegm.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
I think we're all like kind of forgiven for that, because I mean, when we're dead tired, we're not our best selves.
Oh, I'm never my best self when I'm tired.
No,
like when I wake up, I need at least an hour.
Man, I can't wait till I'm fucking exhausted so I can crush this. Like, it's not really.
It's not a typical trait.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to play that show next week? All right, I'm gonna stay up for 3 days prior so I can fucking kill it. Yeah. And then the other thing too is, like, weaknesses are typically just strengths in their like lesser form, you know. To be preoccupied by something can actually work out quite positively if you're trying to figure out something, or attention to detail in artwork. Like, oh, you know, I didn't like how I did this, getting preoccupied with that. So it's like,
when I do, I definitely know what I want to do better on that one. But anyway.
So, I mean, but there it is, right? So
I focus on details, for sure.
Yeah, the preoccupation is just...
Which is honestly really fun for me now that I'm more, like, you know, we talk about seeing signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm already paying attention to every little detail, so now I actually know what signs to look out for.
Put it to positive.
I'll go home after we've been hanging out.
Yeah.
And I'll walk into my bathroom and there'll be a spider on the wall or on my ceiling in my room. I'm like, good, I'm exactly where I need to fucking be right now. And I'll just be like, thank you, Mr. Spider. Good to see you. And then I know that I'm right, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's because I used to be paying attention to every single little detail, but now because I know what details to look for a bit more, the ones that pop out, like I'll have a detail pop out, and now it's just like, initially my heart will go, and I'll be like, no, No, bring it, dial it back, Tony. That just means you're in the right fucking place, buddy. Like, just keep calm, son. It doesn't have to be a happy truth right now, but it's the truth that you need, buddy.
There it is.
But yeah, if I'm ever really quiet when I'm tired, typically it's because I'm trying not to be a fucking bother. Like, I could write the best fucking goth poetry, like, after I've stayed up for a couple nights. Like, definitely.
Well, I just remember the other night the other day, night, whatever the fucking time period was, but when we were going to record the intros last time, and I was just kind of, like, dicking around before we record them. And I was like, alright, we go get something to eat and then record. And you're like, yeah, buddy. I could just tell it was sort of like this, yes, okay. We're being brought back to, like, regiment and, you know, there's a goal to this. And yeah, so there it is. So basically you get preoccupied and I'm immature.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I would say, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Number 85, where do you see me in 5 years?
Doing a really successful podcast with your best friend. Maybe doing a band and some artwork. That's, I mean, that's kind of a joke, but at the same time, like that, in 5 years, hopefully, you know, maybe it'll be a different room and maybe a different couch. But
maybe a different couch.
Different show.
Definitely be a different fucking interface, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think this is where my future's leading me, is here.
Yeah. I see you in 5 years as, like, I'm going to say much more grounded person, which doesn't say a diss to how you are now, but all these new things that you're beginning and practicing, and once those become just natural habits and they're not, you know,
doubted, and not washing away with paint thinner every night.
Yeah, but also, you know, when you're beginning something, you inevitably question it, right?
Yeah.
And then the longer you do it, the more confident and secure you get in it. So it's like, I'm excited to see you at that point where it's like, you know, not like just, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, not that, that part's absolutely fine for now. I think you get what I'm saying. It's just as time goes on, you get more concrete in what you're practicing, and you become that sort of expert, or, you know, you have the confidence of a seasoned vet rather than the, you know, beginning amateur. So.
I still need to look at some videos on tarot. I really want to get better at tarot, man.
You are so fucking good just right out the gate.
Did I tell you that my boss now, I'll be sitting and doing tarot at work, and she'll be like, okay, Tony, how's the day going to go? And I'll be like, well, and so, like, she'll actually be like, well, Tony's doing his tarot, and he's usually pretty accurate. So I'll be like, all right, yeah, okay. And I'll, like, point out certain things, and it's like, cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not surprised, too. When I taught you, so, quick to the viewer, I've played, or done study, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to call it, used tarot for many years now, and Tony had asked me some questions about it, and of course I've read a number of things about it, and the best thing I ever, I guess not even read, was heard. I heard it from that Gem Goddess girl, actually, and she said, when you lay out the cards, to kind of read them as a story, rather than go and look up the meanings, like, look how that card would have got to that card, and use your own interpretations, like your immediate instincts of the cards, to be your meaning to those cards, and you'll be a better tarot card reader because you're not relying so much on, you know, other people's interpretations. Because for you, like for me, what the Queen of Swords means doesn't necessarily need to mean that exact same thing to another person.
Yeah, the meaning in the booklet for Queen of Swords is nothing like what I get on the card at all.
Yeah.
And then I was actually like looking, reading my tarot.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat because then I saw, I don't know which one it was. I think it was the Prince or something. Anyway, basically the way that I read it, and I was like, okay, I'm just a little confused. I'm going to look it up in the book, and basically reading for that card and the card after was what I was thinking was the interpretation. Nice. So it's kind of just like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm spot on. Dope.
Yeah, and there it is. You know, there's plenty of resources too when you get into tarot cards. Like Biddy Tarot is a pretty common resource people use, but there's at least hundreds of others, maybe not thousands, but it's, I don't know that being traditionally versed in it is the best way to be. You know, I've seen some readers where they just go
caught up, right, in the process, I think.
Well, there's this hilarious story. I haven't told you this, but one of my friends, one of his other friends was like, yo man, like, you want me to give you a tarot reading? He's like, fuck no, I get my tarot readings from Caleb. He's like, you took 4 hours to tell a girl some shit the other day.
4 hours?
Oh yeah, but he's the type of guy who's methodical and like does it by book. And so there could perhaps be like somebody who would prefer that reading. I can't imagine the scenario. I'm just giving him benefit of the doubt, basically. 4 hours is, no matter like how thorough it is, it's insane. Like, you don't need to be 4 hours. And my friend also said that that guy basically just gave the girl like 6 different iterations of the same reading, which doesn't help. You know, you want, here it is, take it, leave it, you know, don't really care. Like, I have given you the information, and if it makes sense to you, then good, and if it doesn't make sense to you, well, it just means that it doesn't make sense to you yet. I'm not going to, like, reread the cards, kind of, like, feed into what you're looking to glean from them.
You mean, like, do the exact opposite of what you should do with tarot?
Literally, so.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I keep flipping my coin until...
Yeah, until you get a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was basically kind of what I was doing...
With the Doritos?
Last night. No, not with the Doritos. That one was... But, like, last night I was like, do I want to go for a smoke or don't I? And then I would, like, be playing Borderlands, and I'd, like, flip the coin. No. Alright, so I'd play, like, 20 more minutes of Borderlands, and I'd be like, alright, flip the coin. Am I going to go for a smoke? No. Alright, play, like, an hour more of Borderlands. Gonna go for a smoke? No. Oh!
Go for a fucking smoke, Tony.
Yeah, eventually I just went for a smoke.
Not what my powers are meant to be used for.
Yeah.
Like when you flip it to wonder whether you're going to go piss or not. I'm like,
well,
dude, that's not...
Because I pee so often. Okay, so the viewers or listeners don't need to know this, but like before every show, I pee at least 3 times. Mm-hmm. And it's just like sitting here, we're about to start, I'm like, do I need to go again? Maybe I don't. Like, if I have just, like, the smallest amount in my bladder, it's just like, no, we need to go immediately! And I don't want to have to do a run-out during the episode. Mm-hmm. So I flipped the coin, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go.
Yeah. Just let your body tell you on that one.
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, 5 years. Let's see you being a much more grounded individual. Just all the things that you're beginning now. I'm excited to see how
I see you with more developed projects.
Yeah. And I do see us doing this, and definitely see you having a job that is, you know, either this be the main income source or the art. Like, it just not be so reliant on the traditional income fashions, to put it vaguely.
I'm not going to be a wage slave.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Or at least not something that isn't your fucking true passion or passionate about.
It will come.
Yeah.
I feel it coming. It'll come.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'm in a waiting period, I think, right now.
Alright. Number 86. I don't really understand what attracts you to people.
Yeah.
Like, you
Shouldn't
have to...
Shouldn't it be what attracts me to people? Like, you know?
Yeah, that would make more sense, right?
Yeah.
So...
I think he pulled a Krista Brown and got...
Like, even if it is what attracts me to people, you're gonna fucking know what attracts me to people?
Well, I think it's how well you know your friends, and I would say that you are attracted to intelligence and thoughtfulness, perhaps, genuine nature, people who do their own thing and pursue their passions, driven people.
I like those traits, but
skaters, like,
yeah.
I mean, that's
skaters almost more like, because if I were to answer it like for myself, I'd say people that just intrigue me, That sounds like I'm basically just saying, like, what attracts you to people, like, people that are attractive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really, like, go by a metric on that too much. You know, it's more just a gut response of, oh, this person. I definitely do like people who are more DIY. Like, I talked about Moonfrog in one of the other episodes and Billy at the Shred Shed, and I really do respect that part of it. I like people who are not, I was going to say too full of themselves is just so lame, but because I feel like half the things I'm going to say is just what attracts anybody to anybody. Like somebody who's reasonable, somebody who's grounded, somebody who's not fucking like out to lunch or erratic or annoying or, you know, burdensome. Like, then again, I have people in my life that are somewhat burdensome or annoying, and I'd like having them in my life too. So, you know, there's a balance to anything if you figure it out. So, what attracts me to people? Fuck, that you're here on Earth, I guess. All my answers are fucking lame.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, do you want to take a crack at what attracts
you to people?
Yeah.
I mean, people who, I'm going to say the same thing, are thoughtful, caring, understanding, and basically are trust exercise answers. It's like, we can go back to those.
I like people who have projects going on.
Mm-hmm.
I like people that are affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
Sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. I guess I could say people who are independent. They always impress me because it's like you're not just waiting for, you know, this group to get it together, or you're just not waiting for it to come. You're out there trying to make it happen, and like however that looks, at least you're trying and doing something that you want to do. So you did say driven. I guess driven falls under that category too. So we get the fuck off this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he kind of...
Logan Q Quickly wrote this too quickly.
I think he did.
Number 87. What is my favorite food?
Peanut butter.
I mean...
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong, because it's my favorite food. Peanut butter is not my favorite food.
Really?
I do put in goddamn everything. It was in the fucking broth tonight that cooked the fucking roast in.
I mean, you can't blame me for...
No, you like, that's why I was giggling. You're pretty... I did mention this once.
Oof.
When I was talking about...
Reese cups.
No. What
celery
was one thing that I could eat? No, you're not even in the...
Oh, right. No, we talked about... Oh, fuck.
I give you a hint.
Yeah.
It's a baked good.
Croissant. No, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
The over easy hot cross buns.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. An over easy? Do you even know what that is?
I meant the hot cross bun.
No, I was bitching about those. They have raisins in them, and I don't like the raisins in them. Yeah. That swirl over there is kind of a clue.
Cinnamon buns.
Cinnamon buns.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we have it.
Is yours croissant?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like steak. I could eat fucking blue rare steaks quite a bit, but I also like chicken breasts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that I could just, you know, at any given time be like, oh, I'll shovel this in my mouth. But probably steak, I think. Like, meat. Yeah. I haven't had beef ribs in so long. My dad makes them, like, they're big honking beef ribs. And I just get to sit there and gnaw on it. Like, I don't like eating beef ribs or chicken wings around people I don't know very well, because they see a different side of me.
I'm going to get connected to my inner caveman here.
So, like when people see how I eat chicken bones or chicken wings, and they're only bone. Like, you know those people who will like take a bite out of the middle?
Yeah.
That causes me physical pain to see that, like, because I'm just thinking, because I'll be just chewing on it and be like, what are you chewing on? Oh, it's just the cartilage.
You would fucking hate how I eat chicken wings.
Yeah, I don't look forward to seeing that. But anyway.
Not something I eat too much.
Mine, like, they're clean. Like, there's...
Yeah.
The flies wouldn't go to him.
Well, this fucker will also eat the entire apple, aside from the stem.
I eat the stem sometimes if I can't get it out. If it's wedged in there, I'll just be like, fuck it.
As you had said, if the apocalypse comes, you will survive plenty fine because you're just willing to eat shit that people,
Oh yeah.
take for granted.
Everyone's going to go to the superstore. I'm going to go to the PetSmart. And I will live for years.
Pets included. No, I suppose they don't sell pets at the PetSmart.
I wouldn't eat pets, but their food, yeah. The pets will starve, but I will have so much dog kibble.
My friend worked at Pets Unlimited back in the day. Mm-hmm. So in high school, we were bugging him like, dude, let's give you a full sleeve. Like we wanted to draw on his arm with markers. And he kept saying no because he was like, you guys are just going to draw a bunch of swastikas and cocks. Like, no. And
in true fashion.
Finally, he agreed to a half sleeve. And it was exactly what he foretold. It was just a bunch of cocks and swastikas. So anyways, he's like fine with a half sleeve because he pulled his shirt down. Nobody saw it. So anyways, he's at work that evening and he does his shift, whatever. Next day at school, he's telling us, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I was doing my shift and like, I just kept getting dirty looks from all these people.
Oh, no!
It took me about 40 minutes to realize that the length of his work shirt just revealed one swastika.
Yeah. No, I remember a story similar to that where
love you, Jordan. Anyways,
this guy, I don't know if he passed out drunk or whatever, but he had giant swastikas just on his wrist, and he's like, "Are we gonna go to the store?" And it's like, "No, we can't go to the store." It's like, "It's okay, I'm gonna wear my coat. No one's gonna see the swastika until you go to pay, and there's just a giant fuck off swastika on your wrist." Like, you can't just do that.
So I was at party course, passed out, woke up in a panic, like shit. Like it wasn't even a house party of a person that I knew. Like I went there with my friends, obviously, but so I wake up and like nobody's in the house. So I was fuck. Like what time is it? Trying to check my phone. It's dead. Thinking like my friends left me. And, I knew how to get home from it. But
pardon me.
I go to like run outside and before I get to the door, there's a girl I know, Jana, and she's like, I'm like, oh, are like Chris and them still here? She's like, Caleb, you don't want to go out there until you go like wash your face. And I'm like, what? Like, anyways, I go in, of course, swastikas, cocks all over my. There's a picture of it on Facebook somewhere. Because I woke up the next day and they had a bunch of pictures of those that they posted to Facebook. So I was like, the only way out of this is just to make this my profile picture. So I just made my profile picture me passed out with fucking swastikas on my face.
You just gotta own it at that point.
Yeah. So that was a move, and sure enough, it worked. And
I've never been drawn on at a party. I drew on a guy once. I think I put a bullseye on his forehead because other people, like he passed out. He was a gibbering idiot. I honestly didn't think he was a bad guy. He was a simpleton, but he wasn't a bad guy. And I'm sorry that I kind of like confronted him one time. But anyway. But he passed out at a party and like he got it pretty friggin' minor. It was like a little mustache and I drew a bullseye on his forehead and he was pissed off when he woke up. But it's like, it's tradition.
It's not swastikas and dicks, dude.
So. If I woke up, I don't care if I'm covered in marker. At the time, especially not. If you cover a T-Dog in party stamps. Like, I would wear that as a badge of honor, just like understand that I'm still working my shift at Pizza Salads and your customers are going to see everything that you put on my face. So long as you don't get permanent marker on my glasses, we good. But, yeah, he woke up, he was pretty pissed about it. I never had anything drawn on me on parties.
No. It just makes me think of this other story. I'll say this, you have another one to say it, and maybe we'll get back to the questions, but
okay, yeah.
We're at this house party and this guy's like, yeah man, I got these chicks coming, and he was not a guy to pull chicks, put it very simply and delicately. So we're razzing him like, dude, what kind of fucking chicks you got coming? You don't know them, they go to a different school, like the fucking famous quote, right?
Yeah.
So he keeps saying they're coming, we keep teasing him, after a while we just let it go, like whatever, let him fucking say that he's got these chicks coming. about fucking, I don't know, 12:30 or 1, we've been partying for... I say party, it was just like guys hanging out having drinks, basically. So, this fucking transport truck, like, pulls up without the trailer on it.
Okay, I was gonna say, and they just...
and he's like, oh, they're here. Like, okay, this all makes sense. Yes, these are exactly the type of chicks you know. And yeah, no, we do not know them. They do go to a different school. Salisbury.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they come in, they're chit-chatting, they had some pills they were trying to offer, the bennies. Like,
Benzies?
I don't know the, like, proper term. But
I don't know either what they do.
They're, like, uppers for truck drivers.
Oh. So, I think Diane actually was talking about that downstairs, and I was a bit confused, and I was like, I don't know. Yeah, trucker meth, probably.
Essentially, just to keep them up so they can drive longer. And anyway, so we didn't partake in the bennies. Mm-hmm. They might have had them. I don't know what the fuck went on with the bennies, but...
My guess is if you're trying to give them out to everybody, you're probably on them and you want everybody else to be on the same vibe.
Well, when I proceed to say what I'm about to say, it makes less sense that they were on them, but they passed out. So, they passed out probably, I don't know, 2 hours or something. Like, I went to bed, and I was, whatever, drunk enough to go to sleep. So, then I wake up, and I just hear all this giggling. And so I'm trying to, like, make out what's going on. And I'm laying on a couch like this, and there where you are, dear viewer, and I'm starting to, form the picture of reality, basically, like, what the fuck's going on, because it's still dark, and it's my friends giggling, obviously. Mm-hmm. They were throwing darts into this girl's buttocks, and they just kept fucking hucking darts, and pulling the darts out, and hucking the darts in, and pulling them back out, and finally, I don't know how long they've been at it, before I saw them, but I watched them do this for about 5-10 minutes. And then finally, this girl just oh, what the fuck? And just pulls a dart out of her ass, throws it at them, and says, you guys are so fucking immature. And then just goes back to sleep, and they just stop. Not, barely even mad.
She wasn't bleeding all over the place?
She must have been bloody.
How good were her pants?
Well, she had... the question is, how big was the caboose, right? I don't think these things could go in deep enough to hit a blood stream or vein.
Okay.
The thing was, it packed some punch. So, there was some cushion.
Oh, so she was a...
girl from Salisbury.
Fair enough.
I love Salisbury. I truly do have fun there. This is not a blanket statement to any of the Salisbury viewers. These particular girls could have been from anywhere. Probably from Havelock. Anyways, it's funny because Havelock's outside Salisbury. I'm assuming Salisbury hates Havelock or something of that nature.
Sort of rivalry.
Yeah. She was from Petty. Anyways, so that's that. I need to say no more. Do you have another drunken tale?
I think from the same party. So my kitchen manager at the time, now, this guy was really professional at work. Mm-hmm. When we had staff parties, he literally would be like, all right, boys, let's go to the bathroom and do some drugs. And it's like, man, we're in a dualies. But anyway, so this one time he goes missing, and we're looking all around for him. Uh-huh. And, the general manager, he's looking around with his flashlight on his phone, and he's just like, we can't find him. Where is he? We've looked all over. And the guy, Ian, that I said before, he was just like, have you guys tried calling him on your phones? Instead of using the flashlight? Yeah. And then we found him, on the neighbor's lawn, just, puking. Anyway, not much of a story. But it was, it was a weird time, because that was, the first... Well, that was my first kitchen staff party. Okay. Right? And so, if for all you viewers who aren't in the kitchen industry, we go hard. You get banned from places when you party with kitchen people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that nightlife vibe.
Work hard, play hard. And when the play hard gets hard, you play. But yeah, no, it was, I showed up, people actually doing keg stands. I was like, I'm in a movie. The girls are lifting their shirts to show off their bras. I was like, I'm in a movie. Well, buddy passes out on a couch. I'm in a movie.
That does sound epic. Back to them.
Yes, please.
Number 88. What job do you think I would be perfect for?
Rock star and author.
Thank you. I think that too.
Well, I really can't see you working for anyone else. For one thing, you don't wear socks. For another thing, your timeline, like, you work on Caleb time. Like...
These are all true.
Yeah. That's honestly, I think that's what I want to get to. I want to work on Tony time.
Yep.
Because I know Jordan Peterson is like, have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I like having routine things that I do, I don't like sticking to a routine. Some days you just don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, all structure needs to have room to be flexible. You know?
Well, and I think during this period of time, while I am working a job, I do need to have more structure so that I can get in the things I want in my day.
Mm-hmm.
I need a bit more of a get out of bed. I know you're tired. Do some push-ups.
Yeah.
But when I have the ability to just do what I want to do, then it'll be like, oh, okay, cool. First I smoke, then I won't be smoking by that time. But
there we go. I think you would be perfect for an artist. You're pretty good at being a podcaster, so that works too.
Thank you.
Generally just some sort of art. I think it will be multiple avenues. Yeah. I really do think you will make great cartoons or comics, however they're to be worded, but something like that, I see you doing that quite well, and I'm excited to read it when it does come out. And because I do see you being a bit of a writer too, you know.
Writing is something I need to do more of, which the spider says I should be doing anyway. And I know that when I'm writing in my journal, I see how I write.
Yeah.
And, like, that's obviously just my brain talking to itself. And it's like, no, this is just kind of me being like, but, like, fuck. The way that I talk to myself when I'm speaking, like, I can't hold that level of conversation with a whole lot of other people.
Yeah. Just the way you talk in general, to me, it seems like it would fit naturally in a book. So, or just fit as written word, period.
Or lyrics in a song.
Or lyrics in a song. Your pan flute album. Yeah.
First I have to cover Kissed by a Rose by Seal.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Sloan by Rose.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we've all heard Sloan by Rose more than we've heard Kissed by Rose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should tell you something.
Should.
I can't believe that guy. Did you already tell the story?
We're not yet. It's not the time.
Okay.
But there's a little nugget. It will eventually be told. On the 100th episode, we will tell the story of Kiss and Sloan. We have 80, 90, 70, 85 more episodes to go.
I believe you.
Something around that. Number 89. Where can you always find me?
Hard to say. Studio playing bass is, like, if I have to stick to one answer, but, like, Value Village.
Skate park.
Yeah.
I would have said what you just said, studio playing bass.
Yeah.
I would say basically a similar answer for you, too, in your office.
Yeah.
Doing your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing my thing.
Yeah.
If I'm not home, if I'm not at work, or if I'm not here and I'm not at work, I'm there.
Basically. I don't know, like, what this question is, like, you have a friend who's just, like, a flight attendant on a plane. It's not really a...
Well, before, in my life before was the bar.
Yeah.
Like, my friend actually was talking to me about my drinking a couple years ago, which should have been a sign, but...
Yeah.
As alcohol is really good at clouding your vision, both emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
He was like, you basically live in a sitcom. You have, like, you have your sets and you're always at the bar. Like, that was, like,
yeah.
Well, I was at a point one time where I didn't go to the pump house for, like, 3 days. And I came in and they were like, we thought you were dead. Like, we were getting worried.
Number 90. What is the most fun memory we've had during our friendship? Meeting Janelle comes to mind right away. That was pretty fun.
That was super fun. I was going to say the day that we, the first or second episode or whatever, when I was really tired and I was like, I'm not saying anything. And we just fucking laughed for like half an hour straight and we're just hurting. That's got to be one of the most fun times we've had.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Absolutely. That was... We laughed.
I'm not saying anything.
And we literally went back and we watched the clip and watched the clip of me being tired and not remembering what I said. So like getting really defensive because I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, and having actually said something completely intelligent and on board. Like there was no fucking holes in his thing. It was just like, I said, yeah, it's either that way or here's the other way that it goes. And you're like, I'm not saying that it goes anyway. Like, what? You just did. You just said that it could go, oh. Oh.
And then maybe I did say that. Like a really shitty defense case in court. Maybe I did say that.
Not even on trial. You're like getting a medal, basically.
I didn't do anything.
Like, no, you saved.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe I did do that.
Yeah, for anybody watching, if you go to our Instagram, that's there near one of the first posts we made. Yeah, fucking A. That one was too fun, and the win at the podcast night, that was pretty.
I don't know about fun as much as just exhilarating, like feeling the hand of God.
Yeah,
you know, like that was such a. You're on the right track, boys. Mm-hmm. Like, what a thumbs up from the big man himself.
True. I guess then if I have to say one that's different, the boiled grilled eggplants. That was pretty fucking hilarious. Have you ever had eggplants before? No? I'm trying them. Oh, they're grilled. Are you boiling them? We got a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun.
Alright. Number 91. Do you know my middle name?
I do not.
I don't think I know yours either.
No.
Is it Henry?
No. Are you Big Jazz Daddy Cock 88?
Close. Very close. 89.
Oh.
Robert Jeffrey.
Oh.
Yeah. Robert is my dad's middle name. And it was my dad's uncle. And then Jeffrey is my dad's brother. So... when he was having me, he named me, gave me Jeffrey just as a, I don't know, like a props to his bro type thing. And when my uncle, his brother, had his first boy, he named him Ewan James McDonald after my dad. So,
wow.
Yeah. That's yours.
Ross.
I could have sat here all night and never got that.
I didn't know my middle name was an actual name until grade 8. I thought my mom just made it the fuck up.
Some words she
honestly, I was like, Ross. Like, I've never liked, I never liked my first name anyway. It's kind of funny that the viewers know my middle name before my first name, but my middle name, I was like, what the fuck? Like, just in shame of, like, my mom just mashed this word together. And then so the girl that was in the class with my buddy Matt and I, when we did the French thing, J. Fesquis Guinness.
Yes, yeah.
She came and started at the academy.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend's name was Ross. And I was like, your boyfriend's name is Ross? That's a real name? Like... what are you talking about? That poor bastard. Jesus. His name's Ross? Like,
so is there no family connection to Ross? Like,
no, my mom literally chose our names because they sounded nice.
Huh. Ross isn't a nice enough name. But I just know one Ross, and he's very nice.
I know another Ross, and he's an excellent musician. I did album art for him one time. If I can find that, I'll show it to you.
Ross Cole? Maybe? There's a guy in town here who does.
I don't think... No, he's from Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Or he lives in Ontario. At least last time I checked. I haven't talked to him in years and years and years. But he's a super cool dude.
Cool.
Absolutely cool dude. Musician. Just a real fun guy. Like, he's the kind of guy... We went to a carnival one time. The same one where a dude called me a gay slur because I washed my hands. But anyway, I'll tell that story in a minute. Yeah. But, like, I see Ross, and he just, like, walks over to these strangers, puts his arms around them, and he's like, hey, man, can I have a sip of that? And, like, just, like, gets a swig out of this guy's cup. And I was like, is Ross drunk? And his cousin Wade is just like, no, that's just Ross. He just walks up. But, yeah, so we're at this carnival.
Yeah.
And we're hanging out with this guy's in our group. Not Ross or Wade.
Yeah.
And so I go to the bathroom, I come out and I'm like washing my hands.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, you're washing your hands? What an F word. Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, out of all the things to tell me that, like, what are you doing?
Busting your balls.
Yeah.
Number 92. Do you know about my birthday?
I assume you have one.
I'm assuming this is going to be, do you know my birthday?
Yeah, you kind of lost us here, Logan Haley.
Yeah. Logan Q Quickly. Writing too quickly. Do you know about my birthday?
I know, it's somewhere there.
You're on the cusp. You're 22 of May 1992. I do know.
So you're give me a sec. You're January 10th, 1993? No, 1991.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom. Didn't know your middle name, but now I know your birthday date.
Yes, you know about my birthday.
I know about it. This obscure, mystical thing.
Did come there at some time. Number 93. What's my favorite color, Tony?
Blue. Purple.
Yours? Is it green?
I don't know. I have so many. Like, because, I don't know, like, if you're talking about, like, things, because obviously when I wear clothes, it's kind of, you know, I stick to certain tones. But when it comes to, like, colors that I like to see, like, I like purple, pink, black, white. Green's probably one of them because it reminds me of frogs. Like, I really, when it comes to, like, favorite color, I'll probably, for brevity, I'll say black.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love all colors, really. You know?
PSA.
Most colors, you know, obviously you have some really horrible tones, but when it comes to, like, the actual spectrum, like, I like pink, I like yellow, I like, you know.
I hate grays, so.
Oh, you hate grays, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that everybody has a favorite color. Do you think that's, like, guaranteed? I feel like, obviously, a lot of people do, but it's not a guaranteed.
Well, to me, I don't know, like,
because I feel like that's a question you get asked as a kid. You know, they think all you can basically comprehend is what your favorite color is.
When I was a kid, I said red. And then I told my brother that he couldn't have his favorite color be red because I liked red. And he's like, well, I'm older than you, so I had it first. And I was like, I cannot dispute this logic.
Damn it.
But, I mean, for a long time it was black. That's all I dressed in. Now I don't know. I like brown.
Yeah.
I like a lot of colors. I both like and don't care about color. You know? It needs to suit the context.
I both like and do care very much about color. Yeah. 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Purple pod.
A purple pod.
With green peas.
Yes.
That don't care that they're green.
I got a meme the other day.
Yeah.
From that pen pal. And
I thought it takes 9 weeks to get these fucking things.
No. It depends on where you're getting. No, not 9 weeks. I've never had 9 weeks. It takes a couple days sometimes, but it's because she's so close, it's 3 hours.
Oh, okay, so they do try to mimic, though, like,
real-time lettering. You know, like, it's not, it doesn't go like true snail mail. It's just not instant. Okay. She sent me a meme that was like, when she squirts in your face, but it's all pee, or it's mostly pee, and it's just this person with a bunch of bees on their face. I'll show it to you afterwards. I was like, holy fuck, Rocky. Like, what are you doing?
There it is. Yeah.
But, you know, she sent some fire memes, man. I'm not so down.
That's hilarious. Well, we obviously need to tell a joke. What's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea? I've never had a lentil on my face. There you go, viewers.
There you are.
Number 94. If I called you in the middle of the night, would you pick me up?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
That's when we're awake. It's
Yeah.
the true test is like, would you
call-
get out of bed? Like, I know the true test is like,
Yeah.
you know, like get out of bed, but like, if you can wake me up, good luck. I'm
Yeah.
there for you if I can be, but
This would work better if you called me in the middle of the day.
yeah. But I keep
Would you
my
pick
phone
me
on
up?
silent all the time, as Caleb knows, because we played phone tag back and forth tonight about 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because my phone. So, and I was even like getting ready to iron.
Yeah.
And I put my podcast on, and I was like, okay, this is perfect because if Caleb calls,
Yeah.
then I'm just gonna hear him. You know, it'll interrupt the podcast. I'll turn my phone on. Well, then I turned the phone off or the podcast off to go do something else. Was away for like 2 minutes, and I came back and I was like, fuck. I'll call him back. Hey, Caleb. Sorry, buddy. I stayed in bed forever. Ironing my pants now. Come pick me up.
Shit. Well, yeah. We'd both pick each other up in the middle of the night. Or day, if we heard the call.
Yeah, if my phone's on, then...
Yeah, that's not really much of a... I feel like that's a question from, like, the 90s. Like, if I called you in the middle of the night and your mom answered the phone and brought it into your room and said it was me,
but the thing...
would you take your dad's truck to...
But there are definitely people that... like I said before, I've had relationships where I was giving too much and not getting enough in return.
Yeah.
And there was one time I was laying in bed and it was a period of my life where I was sober and miserable.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy calls and I'm like, fuck. Won't stop calling and I just don't have the spine to not answer. Anyway, I pick up and he's like, can you come pick me up? I go like, yeah, I can. He was all fucked up and trying to tell me that he wasn't high, and it's like, alright, sure you are. Like, no. Like, literally pulled the, no, I was just smelling it excuse. And I was just like, really?
Dude, do I even care right now? Like do you just want to drive home or do you want to hang out?
He wanted me to come pick him up because he got kicked out of his friend's place because he was just smelling it.
Yeah.
And the friend was like, leave.
Yeah.
And so I had to pick him up, and then I had to drive. It was. I think he called me like 4 a.m, and then he had to work at 6. And then he's like, I'm never touching that shit again. And I was like, oh, okay. And we get talking about. I start talking about how, you know, supplies that I would be able to procure, and he's like, oh, really? How much? I'm just like, you literally just said. Like,
yeah, we're talking about weed.
yeah.
Weed.
Well, that was back before it was legal, so.
Yeah. Classic weed.
You know, when you're smelling all the weed and.
Yeah. Classic.
Classic, yeah. That was, definitely there are people in my life now that it's like, nah, bro. Like, sorry, man. Mind you, again, now that I have my phone on silent, like, I'm not picking up.
Yeah.
I won't pick up.
Because especially, I mean, generally, if it's an emergency to anybody I know, obviously, if it's because you're just, like, fucked and need a ride, no, you know, generally, unless it's something more specific, but...
To me, it would really... Well, typically, I don't know, because the people that I really care about, if they're fucked and they need a ride, then it's like, okay, yeah, I would be willing to do it. At the same time, I've been fucked over by being a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
And so part of my learning process in life is to know when to be a good Samaritan and when to just be like, nope, sorry, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've definitely picked up people just calling for a ride when they were fucked. I'm not fully against it, but I'm just saying at this age, most of the people I know, they're not calling me in the middle of the night unless it's a fucking emergency. Mm-hmm. And if it is not an emergency and they just want to hang out, It's typically reasonable. It's not, if they were doing it consecutively, multiple days in a row, probably not gonna fucking pick you up the third time. But yeah.
What if you need help painting a ceiling?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it works out for both parties.
Yep.
Well, that wraps it.
Yeah, that was a short one.
Was. Will be a two-parter.
No. No. Well, that gives us time because
we done dicked around trying to get this fucking interface.
Yeah, we took it slow trying to set up initially anyway, and then trying to get that thing to work.
Yeah.
And we got, I'm just disappointed because we have
we got all the equipment, so
yeah.
You can't see it, but we installed something to make a proper boom mic. And,
instead of having it hang off the ceiling fan or ceiling light.
It's not really a chandelier, but it's on a chain and it swings and so.
And when we had the boom mic on it, it went like this.
Yeah. So we were prepared, and then the interface just started crackling and would not stop doing that. So.
Yeah, so we had to bring out the trusty dusty blue ball. And
here we are.
There we go.
Yeah. So I think you probably have a word to find for us. And
I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I've started doing my Russian again. So.
I mean, I gotta play you. Do I play you out or I play you in? The ditty.
I think it's, if you want to play me in.
Play you in?
Please do.
Tradition.
For today's Russian word of the day, it's brought to you by Drops. It's a language learning app that you can get for free. I paid the lifetime membership because that's how long it's going to take me to learn basic Russian.
What's the membership fee?
I don't know, but it's pretty fucking cheap.
Cool.
I'm thinking about paying it for Memrise too, but Memrise I don't use as much, and it is, I think this was like $99. Reasonable for lifetime of and they're constantly evolving it, and it's useful. So today's Russian word of the day is fioletowy. Fioletowy. It's purple.
Nice.
There you go.
I gotta try this. Fioletowy. Fioletowy.
Purple. And
I like how it kind of has the word feel in it. Feel.
Well, it's funny because when I'm hanging out with my Russian buddy, hey Anton, he'll be like, he won't say purple.
Yeah.
It's violet. It's violet. Like, he won't call it purple.
No?
No, it's violet.
Like just in English, or he'll say violet instead of the Russian word?
He'll say violet instead of
feel.
Like when he's talking English, he won't call it purple. He has no problem talking Russian about me at all. So it's just kind of like sometimes I'll be sitting there being like, well, this is really good practice, learning.
Violent.
Like sitting there hearing him talk with our other friend Nika on Discord, be like, cool, I'll just eat the salted fish. Like, I'm learning a lot of words here.
In French, purple is just violet. Violet.
Yeah. Violet, yeah.
Well.
Fioletowy.
I know. I'm just making a play. Violet. Fioletowy. Because in Russian, you only have one syllable pronounced. So, like, that's why they have trouble with us, because... Like, CH?
Well, no. Syllables are vowel sounds.
I just learned something, I think.
So... I have a Russian student, Hayinka, I have a Russian student. She pronounces vegetables vegetables. And it's so cute. It's one of the things that I struggle with talking to my Russian friends.
Yeah.
Is like, I could correct you, but vegetables is just the best way to say vegetables. But she's actually, well, I mean, I don't think it's doing her justice to just mention that. She actually is fucking like... If I learned Russian at half the rate she learns English, like, I would be fluent.
Damn.
And now she's taking on... She moved to Israel, so now she's taking on Hebrew. And if there's anyone who can do it, it's her.
Damn.
Yeah, she devours languages.
Well.
Yeah.
Going Inca.
Go Inca.
Udachi.
Molodets. All right.
Fiolatively.
Fiolatively.
There you go.
Udachi is good luck. And when you're wishing someone good luck, Udachi. And Molodets is good job. Molodets.
Should I tell them the German word for peace?
Please.
It's peace.
Yes.
Yeah. Weird.
Funny how that works.
And on that note,
thank you for dropping by Smugglers Cove. We're so happy to have you again. We hope this shorter episode is a breath of fresh air. And hopefully we'll be back with our boom mic in tow. But thank you very much, Mr. Blue Ball. And we'll see you again later this week. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Love you all.